Housing TV Africa, your first in housing development broadcasting.
Welcome to Housing TV News at this hour. I'm Joy Sumoso. Let's take a look at the headlines. Tinubu approves new permanent secretaries for Federal Capital Territory Administration. Kano senator says he makes 21 million naira monthly. INEC calls for vigilance by security agencies. On business, Naira falls to 1,595 Naira per dollar in parallel markets. On the foreign scene, U.S. government allocates $27 million new humanitarian aid to Nigeria. And now the news in detail. Nigerian President Bola Tinubu has approved the appointment of 4 permanent secretaries for the Federal Capital Territory Administration, FCTA. This was contained in a statement issued to newsmen in Abuja on Wednesday by the Director of Press in the office of the FCT Minister, Anthony Ogunleye. According to the statements, the appointments were necessitated by the imminent retirement from the service of 2 permanent secretaries and the creation of the Youth Development Secretariat. The appointed permanent secretaries include Okeke Joy Chinwe from Southeast, Ajayi Rotimi Babatunde from Southwest, as well as Nathan Nancy Sabanti from Northeast. President Tinubu also approved the formalization of the position of the Solicitor General of the Federal Capital Territory Administration as Solicitor General, Permanent Secretary for the Legal Services Secretariat. The swearing-in ceremony for the newly appointed permanent secretaries and the mandate secretary for Youth Development Secretariat will be held today, 15th August 2024. The lawmaker representing Kano South, Senator Sumaila Kawu, has revealed that he earns over 21 million naira monthly as a total take-home package. Speaking with newsmen, Kawu said the official pay of 1 million naira fixed by the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission drops to about 600,000 naira after deductions, but other allowances take their total pay to 21 million naira per month. The allowances of federal lawmakers had been shrouded in controversy until a former Kaduna Central Senator, Shehu Sani, had disclosed that each senator collects a monthly running cost of 13.5 million naira in addition to the monthly 750,000 naira prescribed by the Commission in the 8th Senate, which he was part of from 2015 to 2019. Chairman, Independent National Electoral Commission, Mahmood Yakubu, has called on security agencies to remain vigilant and ensure the smooth conduct of the Edo and Ondo governorship elections. Yakubu made this known at a meeting of the Inter-Agency Consultative Committee on Election Security in Abuja on Wednesday. The INEC chairman emphasized the need to protect election materials, personnel and polling activities while reminding security forces to adhere to the rules of engagement for electoral duties. He expressed gratitude to security agencies for their support during recent electoral activities, including the continuous voter registration in both states. Yakubu urged political parties, candidates, and their supporters to maintain civility as campaigns intensify.
Electioneering campaigns by political parties are ongoing. This is usually a time of concern and anxiety about security as political parties canvass for votes. A peaceful campaign often heralds a peaceful election. I urge political parties, candidates, and their supporters to maintain the peace as we approach the election day and beyond. Party and campaign spokespersons should tone down their negative rhetoric. For the security agencies, this is the time to be more vigilant. You should leave no stone unturned in dealing with any real or potential threat to the conduct of peaceful and transparent elections. Already, concerns have been expressed about the possibility of armed state and non-state actors disrupting processes. With just 37 days to the Edo governorship election and 93 days before voters in Ondo State go to the polls, we should continue to work together to ensure that the training of election officials, logistics for the movement of personnel and materials, polling and collation activities are not disrupted in any way.
Similarly, with just 1 month away, the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, who was represented by the Director of Internal Security in the NSA, issued a stern warning, cautioning against any attempts to disrupt the upcoming governorship election in Edo State, adding that the government is fully committed to ensuring peaceful and credible polls.
Attempting to disrupt the conduct of elections will face the full wrath of the law. Law enforcement agencies are on high alert and ready to swiftly and decisively deal with anyone trying to undermine the polls. To the voters in Edo State and Ondo as well, you are encouraged to vote confidently, knowing that government is standing with you and is determined to protect you. Protect your voice. Therefore, your role in promptly reporting any suspicious activities or threats to the authorities is crucial in this regard. Together, our vigilance and unity will prevent any attempt to undermine the polls. To our security forces and election officials, your dedication and integrity are crucial. As the guardians of our democracy, you must ensure that every ballot is protected and every voter feels safe, and the sanctity of the election is upheld.
Cautioning against any attempts to disrupt the upcoming governorship election in Edo State, adding that the government is fully committed to ensuring peaceful and credible polls. In a bid to address the myriads of challenges in providing affordable housing for Nigerians, the Association of Housing Corporations of Nigeria has called for a strategic partnership with the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development to address the pressing housing challenges across the country. This was revealed by the president of HCN, Eno Obanga, during a courtesy visit to the Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Architect Ahmed Musa Dangiwa, at the ministry's headquarters in Abuja. Obanga emphasized the importance of collaboration between the association and the ministry in creating sustainable solutions for the nation's housing deficit, considering the challenges in the housing sector.
As Minister of Housing, we have followed your passion and commitment in tackling housing problems from your days as the Managing Director of Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria to date. We want to also appreciate the Honorable Minister's giant strides in repositioning the housing sector in the last 1 year. We have indeed witnessed numerous transformations that have been happening in the sector, culminating in the takeoff of various housing projects across the 6 geopolitical zones of the nation. We salute your courage, and it is our prayers that God will continue to strengthen you to attain your set goals. The recent inauguration of 4 housing reform task teams aimed at ensuring the successful implementation of the renewed hope agenda for the housing and urban development is highly commendable. It is our belief that their reports will bring remarkable progress in the housing sector. You are certainly conversant with the Association of Housing Corporations of Nigeria, ACN, which was established in 1964 by the defunct 3 regional housing corporations and the Lagos Executive Development Board, now LSDPC, and it's an umbrella body with over 50 member organizations consisting of federal and state property agencies, housing research institutes, mortgage establishments, and some private property development developers, including FHA, NPBRI, and Abuja Property Development Company Limited, APDC. The major objectives of the founding fathers of the session were, among others, to 1. Increase availability of dwelling homes, commercial and industrial estates in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Provide a means of consultation among government departments and ministries, public institutions and private organizations whose functions or interests are related to provision of housing for the citizens of Nigeria.
Dangiwa, while giving his remarks, reinstated the commitment of the ministry to partner with all stakeholders in the industry in achieving the agenda of Mr. President's Renewed Hope housing initiatives.
You said that you want to propose that at least 20% of our houses built under the Renewed Hope agenda utilize the materials, local materials, to enable Nigeria to appreciate the beauty and cost effectiveness of the products produced in Nigeria. Yes, this one also is one area to which we are not even, nobody should even beg us to utilize some local building materials now because it has become necessary due to affordability factor. We want to ensure that we don't want to build houses and they remain abandoned. So we want houses that are sellable, that are acceptable to Nigerians, and that are affordable, most importantly. And Nigerian products are not substandard, are quality products, most of the products that we have. And we always want to utilize it. And we are being utilizing it. Our Renewed Hope estate that we are constructing now in the states, in order to increase the affordability, we even eliminated all ceramic tiles, all tiling, in all the rooms, all the spaces except the wet areas, the kitchen and the toilets. These are the only areas we do. We reduce that amount, but despite the fact it becomes a bit high, we have to start looking at which area do we now go to. We look at the ceiling, we remove the POP, we remove we come to the least affordable material, which is maybe PVC. Because even if you use Celotex ceiling, you still have to use noggins, you have to use batten, you have to use painting. But with PVC ceiling, you don't need noggins, you don't need battens, you don't need ceiling. So these are all the factors we have looked at. I'm sure some of the professionals in this ministry, they were tasked to do that. We look at even the painting. We intended to do only 1 coat of paint inside the rooms in order to reduce the cost, so that at the end of it will be more affordable to Nigerians.
You're watching the news update from Housing TV Africa. We'll take a break. Join us.
Connecting.
It's been awesome.
It's a good relationship.
Opportunity.
Innovation. With many professional people in this event.
The event was good.
Great job and keep doing it. You people are super.
Currency has depreciated to 1,595 naira per dollar in the parallel market yesterday from 1,590 naira per dollar on Tuesday. Similarly, the Nigerian Autonomous Foreign Exchange Market has recorded a fall in Naira as it goes to 1,586 Naira 4 kobo per dollar. Executive Director of Housing Development Advocacy Network, Festus Adebayo, in a statement released recently in Abuja, disclosed that the real estate market across Nigeria is facing significant challenges, with property prices skyrocketing and sales slowing down in many parts of the country. This was disclosed in a statement released in Abuja. Festus Adebayo pointed out that the steep rise in property prices is partly due to inflation and the high cost of building materials, exacerbated by the devaluation of the naira and the rising cost associated with importing construction materials. The inflationary pressure has also led to increased challenges for estate developers who now face difficulties in securing buyers despite resorting to extensive advertising efforts. In light of these challenges, Adebayo emphasized that it is particularly tough time for real estate sales nationwide, with similar trends observed in major cities like Lagos and Port Harcourt. Developers are under pressure to innovate in their construction methods, funding models, and financing options for buyers to sustain their businesses in this difficult economic environment. Adebayo also called on the government to intervene by subsidizing land acquisition for credible developers and providing the necessary infrastructure to reduce overall development costs. Additionally, he suggested that the government should enhance financing options for home buyers through institutions like the Nigerian Mortgage Refinance Company and the Family Homes Fund Limited. On the foreign scene, contractors of the police housing complex for senior officers John Selam Nagbe said a 12-unit story building apartment for police officers in the OT regional capital, Dambai, would be completed by September 2024. Speaking to newsmen during a visit to the project site, Nagbe said the 12-unit apartment was divided into 2 wings, with each consisting 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 1 storeroom and 1 kitchen. He also expressed optimism that the project, when completed, would benefit the senior police officers in the region. The completion and utilization of the housing project in OT region will augment the government's housing programs that were rolled out to increase the residential stock of police service personnel in the region. The United States government has announced $27 million in humanitarian funding specifically allocated to support Nigeria as part of its sub-Saharan African aid efforts. This information was shared in a statement by the U.S. Mission Nigeria through its official X handle, formerly known as Twitter. The U.S. agency said the $27 million was part of the $536 million announced by the Secretary of the State Department a few days ago. And that's the much we can take on the news update. Before we go, here's a recap of our top stories. Allocates $27 million new humanitarian aid to Nigeria. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms at Housing TV Africa. Remember to download the Housing TV Africa mobile app on Google Play Store and Apple Store to stay connected. I'm Joyce Onsu. Thanks for watching.